Please welcome Rob Trice, founder and partner at the Mixing Bowl and Better Food Ventures, and Darwin Melnyk, co-founder and chief technology officer, FarmOp Capital.
Thank you all for sticking with us for a fantastic day we've had here at the Forbes AgTech event here in Indy. We're pleased to be a content partner of Forbes. And before we get started, I just want to give a personal shout out to Darwin. My background's 12 years, 15 years in mobile and internet venture capital. And as I was looking at this opportunity of bringing Silicon Valley and IT innovation into food and agriculture, Darwin was one of the very first ag tech entrepreneurs I met. And he's been a mentor and a motivator for me to go create the Mixing Bowl as a forum to connect IT, food, and ag innovators, and also start Better Food Ventures as a way to fund companies that are harnessing IT for positive impact in food and agriculture now. But Darwin, who are you again?
Well, thanks, Rob, for the interview time this afternoon. Thanks, everybody. It's late in the day. I'm Darwin Melnyk. I come from Nashville, Tennessee, and I've worked in ag for a long time. My most recent project was a company called Iron Solutions, which was a risk management platform for used farm equipment, kind of the Kelly Blue Book of ag. I think I was ag tech before ag tech was cool. I raised $16 million of venture capital in 2006 for an ag tech play, so I think that makes me maybe one of the older ag tech guys in the room today.
So our team at Better Food Ventures, when we saw that Darwin had teamed up with the other rock stars that we'll hear about in a little bit, it was an easy investment decision for us to make an investment in FarmOp Capital because fundamentally they're addressing two key tectonic shifts that have occurred in agriculture that may not have been noticed. And the first one is that from 1987 to 2012, the number of farms harvesting over 2,000 acres has gone from 7.2 thousand to 30,000 farms. In conjunction with that, 80% of farms today, mid-size or larger, rent land, and they're renting over 50% of their total farmland. And so the rise of large farms and the rise of non-owner operators are two big things that FarmOp Capital addresses through the disruption that this causes in the credit markets. You want to talk about that?
Sure. So the name of the company is FarmOp Capital by design. We are interested in financing operators of farms. And operators and landowners are not the same, and I'm sure everybody in this room recognizes that. In the past 20 years, there's been a lot of disruptions and a lot of scaling up of ag and a lot of consolidation. We've heard that theme many times today. A lot of the consolidation and the scale in the economy side of farming is related to the work that's been done by many individuals in this room. And to you, a lot of credit goes to our ability to scale up farming operations. Unfortunately, the ownership structure of farming and the scale of farming are not necessarily completely aligned as they used to be. Farmers don't own all the land, as the stats that Rob just mentioned. So it's creating more of a credit gap with an underserved market for the producers that are cash renters and the owners of the land that want good cash renters that produce well and continue to give them the returns on the ownership of the land that they respect and they want. So that's the credit gap, and that's the target audience that we focus on at FarmOp Capital. It's really the operators. We focus on the cash flow of the operator, and we lend them working capital based on their ability to generate capital and be efficient farmers.
And so where are farmers getting credit today?
Well, the traditional cap stack has been pieced together for operating capital, and I'm talking about grain farmers, upper Midwest, corn and soybeans principally, just so we're clear in terms of the focus of our operation. They've been putting their capital together using a variety of methods, including leverage on hard collateral on the balance sheet, like everybody has for decades, if not longer, but also trade credit. There's been a lot of trade credit work done. Many partners in the farming input side provide credit with their inputs. I'm sure many in this room provide input financing. Putting that together in pieces to piece together your cap stack is largely what's been keeping the farm operator together that's got a light balance sheet. We call them asset-light tenant farmers. That asset-light tenant farmer has got to be a great operator in this economy, and their cap stack is largely pieced together from a variety of sources. we'd like to turn them into cash buyers. We think that turning them into cash buyers with a large-sized loan makes them a more efficient operator in this economy.
And just to add some data to that, so the number of farm credit associations went from 900 in 1983 to now down to 80 associations and 4 regional banks. The number of ag banks in the United States has dropped 50% since 1979 from 4.3 thousand to 2.3 thousand. And the number of community banks out there has gone from, in 84 there were 16,000, in 2014 only 6,000. So the number of the institutions that are really available there for those farmers has really decreased. So let's talk about FarmOp Capital. So what are you doing and why is it different?
So again, we're an alternative private lender focused on farm operators. We're looking for certain metrics in terms of the farm operation and scale and economies and efficiencies and cash flow. We're built around a small team. My CEO is Bill York, formerly the CEO of Agribank, one of the largest farm credit wholesale bankers with $100 billion in assets. And my other co-founder is Keir Rennick, who's from Bank of America, Moody's background. Both the guys are great bankers, and I'm the technologist. I'm the odd man out in the group, so I'm the risk management technology guy. And the company is formed, and we're up and running this year. We've been building our capital market solution out. We're a capital markets-based product. We've been building that out. We'll be in the market in 2019, lending. We actually have some of our sales team here today looking at just talking with Purdue, getting our name out, talking with folks about what we're doing and what our focus is.
And then, so you are focused geographically on the Midwest, short grains, headquartered out of St. Paul?
We're in St. Paul, Minnesota, that's correct.
Okay. So it's been interesting listening to today's conversation, particularly in the afternoon, and looking at that interplay of ag tech and the balance sheet. And so as I ask you, Darwin, are you an ag tech company or a fintech company?
So there's not an easy answer for that. I think the answer to that is about timing and phases. We're an early stage lender, a de novo lender. That's a term that's new to me in the capital markets. But as a de novo lender, my focus is primarily on getting our lending operations up and running and working out our underwriting model and all the risk management tools that we need to be good lenders and good partners with our customers. But we are very much a tech and data-driven company. And in the category of information that is available to us as a lender, as a de novo lender, it's unprecedented. I walk around this trade show and many others like it, and I've been in the industry a long time. I grew up farming, still involved in farm operations today. There's a tremendous amount of information available to us as a lender if we're designed and built to pay attention to it. And FarmOp Capital is built around data and about operations. So we're a natural fit for technology and ag tech. So we live at the intersection of ag tech and fintech.
But today, if we look at all the data that's being generated by all these startups here today, it's not really having an impact on the balance sheet or the credit stack for the farmer. Is that correct?
Well, I think that obviously the groups before us and the theme of the afternoon is around real return on investment and efficiencies gained from technology. And as a lender interested in production, we're very interested in validating that that's the case as we lend capital for a crop and look at the cost structure associated with that crop and how efficiently it was produced. We're interested in validating that as a lender and being involved in that conversation.
And then you told me about one war story. One farmer customer that you were talking to just gave one story about what he has to do now, what the cost is just to deposit one check.
Right. So part of the question is ag tech versus fintech. And on the fintech side, look, tremendous amount of innovation, credit to everybody in the room and many beyond it, to the kind of work we've done agronomically, on the machinery side, on the input side, genetic side. The financial services part of agriculture is a little bit slower to change. And I think that this is an opportunity for us to look at some of those opportunities for simple ways of making the life easier of a farmer relative to fintech. Things that are natural in consumer lending and other places don't show up in B2B big ag financing that quickly. We'd like to change that.
Yeah, so the punchline there is going to cost $50 to deposit one check.
Yeah, we'd like it not to cost $50 to deposit your check with us.
So let's talk about competition. So are you here to disrupt the ag credit lending, captive lending?
Absolutely not. And the reason is that it's a big market. We're looking at an underserved segment of that market, and it's not just a short-term trend. The short-term trend is we're under pressure. We've got commodity pressures. We've got a trade war that's putting all kinds of uncertainty in the markets. And that's not really the trend that we're following. We're following the larger trend of the separation of the operations from the asset that is the land. And when you separate those two things, credit has to be responsive to that. And I don't think that's an opportunity that's being focused on enough. And so we're targeting a very specific type of producer and a very specific type of credit gap to solve. And that doesn't put us in conflict. That's an underserved market. Regulators have credit boxes that shrink. Markets are tight, credit is receding. We have a different underwriting model. We think we'll do well and we'll be good partners for everybody in the market.
So do you think some of these input suppliers that maybe do have their own captive lending and or don't have their own lending program could work with you?
We already have programs to work with and are going to market through a variety of channels, including ag retailers, that see us as a collaborator and as somebody to help them with their reputations with producers that don't fit their credit profiles as well as they fit ours.
I think the other question that probably is going through the minds of a lot of folks in the audience right now is, are you absolutely crazy to start this company right now when, you know, the rumor out there is most farmers or many farmers are overextended?
I think that, you know, great operators operate through the cycles of ag. And for those of us that have been in multi-generation farm families like I have, there are ways that you operate through the good times and the bad times, and we all know them. We were taught them by our forefathers and mothers, and we practice those things. There are always opportunities for new partners to emerge to help you through those cycles. I think the leverage of technology and data, which is my principal focus as the CTO of FarmOp Capital, is to bring a lot of value to bear in the credit market and in the credit support side of the business from a lot of investments that are being made already in technology, services, and data that are not being leveraged by the credit guys. So the answer is no, absolutely not. I think good credit, good operators exist through cycles.
And you're in it for the long run?
We're here for the long haul, very much.
Good. I think we've got a little bit more time left. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover?
No, I appreciate the opportunity, Rob, and you've been a great friend of the business and mine. It's great to get to visit with you on stage.
Good. I think maybe we have time for one question. Anyone have a question? If not, we'll take our leave.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.